And we are moving right into February. Welcome to Community Connections. I am Dawn Lowe, host of Community Connections and director of the Greensburg-Decatur County Chamber of Commerce. I am so thankful to be back in the studio. I feel like it has been ages since I have been in here for Community Connections. I've had Lily pinch hitting for me a couple of times, and so I kind of feel like I'm a visitor in my own space right now. But speaking of visitors, we have got some phenomenal visitors sitting beside me. We're going to introduce them in just a second. But first, let's talk about some upcoming events and some new things that we've got going on at the Chamber. So our new member for the month of January was Zaxby's. We're excited to welcome Zaxby's to town here in Greensburg. We're going to do a formal grand opening for them probably in March, so watch our social media for more information on that. I want to talk about a few upcoming ribbon cuttings that we have. Friday, February the 13th, for whatever reason, is a hot date. We have 3 ribbon cuttings on Friday, February the 13th. So at 10 a.m., we're going to celebrate with the Decatur County Community Building. We're going to officially open that building at 1635 West Park Road, just down the road from us here at the WTRE studios. And if you can join us, again, that's going to be at 10 a.m. on Friday, February the 13th. We're going to celebrate with our county commissioners, our local mayor, and a lot of other people who have helped make that project come to life. And then at 12:30 that day, you can join us at 1531 North Commerce Drive, Suite 1. We're going to welcome Haggerty Dental Studio to a new location. So again, that's Haggerty Dental Studio on Friday the 13th at 12:30 p.m. Finishing that day out at 3:30 p.m., we're going to celebrate with Copper Coyote at 114 South Franklin Street. That is actually the address of Dog-Eared Pages. Copper Coyote is a home-based business, so we're excited to be in that space and really working to support those home-based businesses by offering these ribbon cuttings. So if you can join us and welcome Copper Coyote to the scene, that is a permanent jewelry establishment. We're going to celebrate that day 3:30 at 114 South Franklin. Then looking into March, on Tuesday, March the 3rd, we're going to welcome the ARC of Decatur County, that's the ARC, the ARC, to a new location. On Friday, March the 13th, we're going to celebrate with Creekside Farm Stop, a new business that has come into the existing space of Hillbilly Corner. And then on Friday, March the 27th, we're going to welcome the new business Koi Oasis Pools to the downtown Greensburg district area. You can find more information on all of those ribbon cuttings on our website, greensburgchamber.com. We also will have our monthly Lunch and Learn that is going to be held on Tuesday, February the 10th at the Greensburg-Decatur County Chamber Conference Room. We're going to celebrate with Jackson's Nursery. I believe they are celebrating 60 years of business. So come and celebrate that with us and learn a little bit more about some landscaping tips. Leaders and Loggers for the month of February will be a State of the City by Greensburg Mayor Joshua Marsh on Tuesday, February the 17th from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Tap. And then the legislative update for Decatur County will be held on Friday, February the 20th from 11:30 to 1. All of those events you can register online at greensburgchamber.com. Real quickly, I want to talk about a couple of new benefits to the Chamber and for our members. We're excited to welcome Leveraging Local, a new Facebook group. So anyone can view that group. It is for members only to post any kind of event or special or open house ribbon, whatever it is that they've got going on. We've just provided yet another space for our members. So check out Leveraging Local on Facebook. And then new to our website, if you will go to greensburgchamber.com, click on job boards, we're introducing Rolly. So Rolly is a fun little AI-powered bot that trolls the websites of our chamber members, finds all of those open jobs, and puts them all in one location. So Decatur County, if you are looking for a job, that is the place to be. Go to greensburgchamber.com, click on job boards, and then you can filter by different sectors of business, different areas. And we've got some more things that we'll be rolling out as the years go on with Rolly Jobs. But for now, check that out. I believe there are approximately 145 current job openings that we have been able to find using Rolly. So very, very blessed to have that on our website. We want to thank the Economic Development Corporation for partnering with us on Rolly Jobs. In the studio today, I have Dale Long, Tyler Smith, and Seth Enneking. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This is quite a lineup. I feel like I am in the hot seat. I've got three of you over here. Today we're talking about 300 chiropractic and wellness, and we've also got the other side, 300 fitness. So I'll let you all introduce yourselves individually. We'll start down at the end. Tyler, if we can start with you, just introduce yourself. Give us just a brief update on who you are and some of your background.
Tyler Smith. I'm a physical therapist. Been working as a physical therapist since 2007. Just love helping people, and yeah, been at 300 for about 2 months now, 2.5 months.
So you're pretty new.
Yeah.
Are they
awesome.
Welcoming you with open arms?
Oh,
It's all
yes.
been a good transition.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
Perfect.
They're awesome people.
Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. And where did you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Hancock County, kind
Okay.
of Charlottesville area in the country.
Yeah,
So,
not too far away.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, absolutely. Next, we've got Seth.
Yeah, I'm Seth Anneking. I work as a personal trainer in the 300 Fitness, and then I also write like all the programming, kind of run the facility, I guess. I worked at another gym company for, I don't know, approximately 12 or more years, and then got the opportunity a couple years ago to go out and help open 300 Chiropractic and Wellness with Dr. Redding, and decided to leave my job that I had then and start out on the new adventure. So
Awesome. We're going to come back to that transition piece right there in just a minute. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and introduce Dale. Dale, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Dale Long. I am from Rush County most of my life. I had spent 16 years at a previous gym with Seth. We worked together. And when he went and partnered with Dr. Redding at the Wellness Center, he and I actually were just hanging out and had the vision for a gym as well. It's almost kind of a joke more than anything.
Okay.
And Seth presented it to Dr. Redding, and she loved the idea.
Awesome.
And it was a 2-year plan that took about 3 months to get going. So we're very blessed and fortunate to be here.
It sped up real quickly at the end. Yeah, I recall that timing with working with Dr. Redding here when she was in Greensburg. Mm-hmm. And I recall us having some of those conversations about the future and what that was going to look like. And then all of a sudden it was like a total 360 change of events. And then you were in and it was done. And I was like, whoa, like we're like, that flew. So congratulations to a successful transition, quick successful transition. But Seth, go ahead and take us through that a little bit, what that looked like as starting out with 300 Chiropractic and Wellness and the addition of the 300 Fitness side.
Yeah, so, it was probably the beginning of 2024. I had approached Dr. Redding about possibly her sending some patients to me. I was looking to go out on my own, looking to make a transition of my own, to where I could help her with them and get them better and stuff. And she said, well, actually, we've been praying about this this wellness center that I want to start, and we spent all weekend praying, and we said, have someone walk us in the door because this is our last piece, and you just walked in and asked me if I was interested in doing exactly what we need to do it. So,
no way. What a cool story.
Yeah, so she said, and there's 20 other stories like that with this. I mean, it's
cool.
Crazy how it's all come together, but her and I met for probably about a year kind of trying to structure it, stuff like that, and then November 2024, December, I started working for her, getting the space ready that the wellness center is in now. I started there doing the rehab in January of 2025, and then she came full-time in March of 2025. And then in July, we got an opportunity to not purchase the gym next that was in the same building, but purchase their equipment and take over the lease to start our own gym. And we just saw it as a great opportunity to, be able to continue that service to people where, they see her and they see these medical professionals, and then, hey, where do I go from here? And just really being able to help that transition for other people and for the community. And then also, as part of being in the fitness industry, is part of it is injuries, and so having the opposite way too, where as a gym, if we have clients or members that get hurt or, slip and fall, they can come and say, hey, what do we do? And we can say, hey, walk right down next door. Or, so yeah, it's been, like Dale said, it's been a huge blessing. We work a lot together. Tyler and I just met this morning about somebody that we're working together with. And so really being able to bounce ideas off of, other people and getting insight from multiple people has been wonderful.
Yeah, it allows for collaborations on, that full healing process.
Yep.
So that I would assume would make for a better experience for the patient. For you to all be right there together.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I'm seeing a lot of head nodding over here from Tyler, physical therapist. So talk a little bit about your role there.
Oh, so, Dr. Redding does an awesome job of kind of screening the patients, and if they come to see her or Seth as well, if it's a client up top in the fitness area, and if they have injuries or something they're dealing with, pains in areas that as a physical therapist I can help and assist in and kind of help direct them and becoming self-proficient in how to deal with it. And we kind of bounce back and forth and it becomes more of a lifestyle thing, as well, which I love because, so much physical therapy has been just, treat your injury and goodbye. And now we're kind of like, well, we'll treat your injury, teach you how it doesn't, so it doesn't come back, and then set you up for success long term with fitness aspect and lifestyle changes and what have you, and coaching, etc. So that's been that was the big seller for me that's what we want. We want to really help people totally all the way around, not just one thing, one knee, one shoulder, etc. So,
and I would assume that that's where the fitness side comes in of 300 Fitness, and coming back to you, Seth, as a personal trainer, and you had talked about a little bit earlier on the program that you're able to build those programs for people, so building them out for their lifetime, not just the rehab experience.
Yeah, so really just like continuing the treatment, if it's in that aspect, continuing the treatment and kind of what Tyler was doing with them, and make sure that we support that, and then teaching them the tools and moving them more into like a general exercise program.
Sure.
Teaching them the tools and stuff. And he said lifestyle change. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dale's a pretty humble guy, but he's certified life coach and stuff too. So. That's something we're just starting to implement into the business, and so really that's Tyler hit the nail on the head. We're trying to get lifestyle changes for people so that they don't continue to get hurt, they don't continue to have these aches and pains, and so we can do it all across the physical aspect of it, and then we got Dale to help out with the mental and the habits and the stuff like that, so we can really
I love that.
Zero in on what someone needs and provide it for them.
All right, so he just opened the door, Dale. Talk a little bit about the coaching side of things and what that entails.
Sure. When I realized this was going to be something that I thought was in the future, I started reaching out for just being able to provide more. One of the themes that you'll hear at 300 is we want to meet people where they are. And with 16 years in the industry, before switching to 300, I had saw this need for just constant follow-up, which we offer at 300 Fitness. So just your membership, along with your 24-hour access, you get to meet with me every 6 weeks, and that's included. And so it's a way where we can sit together and come up with goals, and then we will track your progress. We offer body composition scans. That's every 6 weeks as well. We can take that information and you tell me, what do you want out of life, out of the gym, whatever. I'll be able to put you together a plan that you can follow. Buy-in is super important, and so me telling you what to do, that's easy, but you're not real likely to do it unless you're just really invested in it. Versus if I can get you to be just as bought in to your health as we are.
Sure.
It makes it a team collaboration, and the success that comes from that shows. One of the metrics that we are very proud of, I would have thought unattainable, 88% of our members used the gym last month. From an industry standard of 30 to 40 being good,
Interesting.
Yeah, I would have, if I were going to set a goal when we first started, it would have been to have 50 to 60%. We haven't been below 87 in any given month. And the longer that we're open, we've been open 7 months now, that number continues to stay between 87 and 92% in any given month. And I think it's because we do meet people where they are, and they feel like between myself and Seth and Tyler comes up the hill, and we have so much talent down the hill with Dr. Redding and our massage therapists. And the other thing that I think that people really see is we want you to succeed. We don't want you to have to pay for the rest of your life to just be in quote unquote in shape. You know, it is a lifestyle change, and we can make you better if you want to be better.
I love that. Love that. Let's go all the way back and talk a little bit about 300 Chiropractic and Wellness before it even began. What is, we keep saying 300. We'll meet you at 300. We're at 300. What is 300? What does that mean or stand for?
Yeah, so the short story of what 300 stands for is, so you have the 300 Spartans that went up against the Persian army, right? So
Yep.
300 against, you know, the estimates there are all over the place, a few 100,000 to a few million. And then the story of Gideon in the Bible, where they dwindled down the army to 300 and then took over the opposing army. So it's small things can accomplish great, incredible things. And so even as an individual, you know, you can accomplish great things. Even small habits can lead to great changes in your life. And so it's really, you know, it's the Reddings are very, you know, very godly people. And so one is biblical, and Peter Redding, he's military, and so that's where the 300 Spartan comes from. And then
I love that.
it's kind of,
Yeah, love that. We have talked a lot about the different services that you provide, the way that all works together, the collaborative effort that creates, not only for you as staff, but for your clients as well. If you could give me one way that this sets you apart from other gyms, what would that be?
we don't have to outsource your needs.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that, like, you know, I've been through. I played sports my entire life competitively until like my mid-30s, and, you know, injury's just part of it. And so, you know, you get sent to a specialist, and then you get sent to a physical therapist that you don't know. It's a strange place. It's a strange thing. You know, there's a lot of questions in your mind, and just really that being if it comes from like 300 Fitness, like, they trust us. And so when we say, hey, guy that's part of our same company downstairs, you know, they trust that. And then they already
Sure.
feel like when they go downstairs that they know them. And same thing in the opposite direction. You know, when they say, hey, you really need to go up there and continue this, they trust the whole, everything as a whole. And so it's two different companies, but it's really like one. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that's how we run
The
it.
crossover is important.
Yeah, and it's big. There's more crossover there than I thought there would be.
So you've
real
seen that
quick.
develop over the
Oh,
course
yeah.
of the 7 months. Interesting.
Yeah, very quickly. Like I said, we have members. You know, we'll have members that'll come up to me and say, you know, I slipped on the ice and I hurt my shoulder. You know, and I'll kind of try to figure it out. And, you know, if it's something I'm not quite sure of or you know, I'm a little uncomfortable with, I'll say, hey, you need to, you know, schedule an appointment with Tyler. Is that something you can do? Like, he's great. He'll take good care of you. And then I can do that from upstairs because I have access to all that stuff. And so I can just be like, here, let me schedule an appointment. When can you go in with him? And
Cool.
and so, yeah, it's definitely been, yeah.
We're talking about members, so membership-based organization. Talk a little bit, Dale, about what that style looks like and what that means for people who might be interested.
Absolutely. So we offer, you know, the standard 24/7 access that people want. You know, we understand life's busy, so that's the first thing that we have is a 24/7. You'll have your key. You can come and go. If you don't want to come in and see us, you come in at 2 a.m. because that's what works.
Dale, if I have a key, I'm not coming at 2 a.m. Just so you know. Nope,
No.
not happening.
Well, we won't
Not
be
for
there.
this girl.
We won't be there either.
Okay, that's fair.
But there'll be a lot of third shift people in
Okay,
there, right?
yeah.
And so, and that goes into the biggest thing for me about 300 is we can meet you where you are. So if you just want to come in and work out, we have a membership. It's 24/7. We have very fair prices. We don't do any hidden fees. That's something Seth and I were very passionate about. Another thing that makes us different is no one that works at the gym makes commission, which is pretty standard across the gym industry. We're the only place I know that offers what we offer, but we just are there to take care of you. And I think people can feel that because they know it's real. And then you can go from the membership to the 6-week eval where we just set goals and we track your goals and we make sure you're heading in the right direction. And if not, we can stop and figure out what's next. Sometimes what's next is you need to go meet with Seth. Sometimes what's next is you just need to take a look at yourself and say, you know what, I'm getting in here 3 days a week, but I'm eating McDonald's 7 days a week, so it's not going to, right?
Right.
It's just taking the pieces that are missing. Most of us have an overall idea of what we want, and some of us have a decent idea of how we can get there. What a lot of people don't have is the belief that they can do it too. And so at the end of the day, that's what we're really there to instill is you can do this.
Yeah.
We'll give you every single tool. All you have to have is the want. Your knee's messed up, Tyler can fix it. We'll get you back up here working out. Your shoulder's bad, hey, Seth's got a session I can get you into. You just need somebody to talk to you about the fact that you didn't lose weight. I put you on the scanner. Turns out you gained muscle, right? We can tell you that. So you're not worried about what the scale says. In fact,
Sure.
we don't use weight loss as a metric, which is another thing that's different about us. We use your mobility. If you're a client, when we assess you, we'll do your weight loss because that's important to people. But what Seth, who's also very humble, what Seth brings to the table is he wants you to move at 60 like you moved when you were 20. And he can help you get there. He really can. I've seen people, we have a client is in his late 60s, and his mobility went up, I think, 8 points, which is, he's getting close to being maxed out for mobility, and he's in his 60s. Again, we met him where he was, and we took him where he wants to go, and that's what's special about us. And it's all with people that are on the same mission. We all have faith, and we all believe in each other, and we believe in our members.
Yeah.
And so I think that we're blessed to get to serve our community.
I love that. When you're coming in as a member, is there an opportunity to do group style classes? Is this all on your own with oversight from the team, or how does that work?
Yeah, so personal training is all an add-on to the membership. And so with the membership, you get the access and the 6-week assessments. And then if you decide that you need more, we have large group team training. We have semi-private training. And then we also have one-on-one. And so depending on what you're looking for, what kind of, individualization you want in your program, how much accountability, how much attention you're going to take, stuff like that. And so we have people that come in and they just go right into the large group team training. And then we have some people that come in, it's like, hey, I need to do one-on-one for like 3 months. And then they switch and do one of the groups because we can really provide a lot more in those one-on-ones. But yeah, do you get also with your membership you get 2 free training sessions, and so we make sure that you know how to use the equipment. We answer any questions you have, stuff like that, and then if working with a coach is something you're interested in, we can talk to you about your options and stuff. But
talk us through. Can you give us a visual? I know we are kind of live on camera, but give us a visual, kind of paint a picture for us of what that space has inside. People typically, like when I go to work out, I use certain pieces of equipment. I am geared towards certain things. So what is available there?
Yeah, so we pretty much have, it's your typical gym. We have the different types of cardio equipment. We have the cable machines. We have different, functional equipment. We have the barbells, the dumbbells, the kettlebells, the bands, Generally, members are free to use all of it.
Okay.
And the team trainings, large group team training, it's typically kettlebells, dumbbells, bands, stuff like that. Because when you get large groups of people, you don't want to be throwing around barbells and stuff. In the semi-private, it opens up a little more because you have a little more space, less people, so you have a little more leeway with that. And then with one-on-one, it's just whatever the person needs and wants. It's that whole thing, like you got to work out balance. We always have to work out balance of what you want versus what you need and what you're willing to do. And so
Yeah.
That's a huge thing to navigate. But
Absolutely. And the elephant in the room is going to be the question about costs. So can anyone talk to me about what a membership might cost?
Yeah, I'd love to. We're very open with our prices. A standard 1-year membership is $27 biweekly. We offer enrollment. It's very reasonable at $30 to get started. We offer shorter term memberships. We offer a really nice military discount, and senior citizens 65 and over is close to half price. So we are never going to charge a lot of gyms do maintenance fees or continued educate. We don't ever charge any extra fees. We're up front when you come in. This is what it costs. This is all it's going to cost. And so we have no problem talking about that. I would say if you're looking to join a gym based on cost alone, we're definitely in the ballpark with everywhere around us. And most people ask what's it cost because they don't know what else to ask. So I would encourage you, if you're even thinking about it, just come check us out. You won't get pressured to do anything. We'll give you a tour of the facility. We'll talk to you one-on-one about what your needs are. And if you want to sign up, we'll get you taken care of.
Yeah. Tyler, I want to ask you real quick on the physical therapy side, are you seeing any trends or things that, you're seeing a lot of fill in the blank that we should be cognizant of as just society?
Just overuse injuries, shoulder injuries, knee injuries, back, just from overuse every day run-of-the-mill things just kind of adding up and causing stress strain to your spine or your shoulders or your knees, and then how to balance that, how to balance the muscles around those joints and around that area to kind of help reduce pain and reduce dysfunction. So big thing about these guys is all about function from your feet all the way up to the top, and that's something from a physical therapist's viewpoint that we always just love to see. When you see that with personal trainers and just from every aspect, you can kind of how to help correct that and then minimize the pain that patients and clients go through on a daily basis just from overuse stuff, whether it's out on a farm or in a factory or just play with grandkids. So
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, thank you for that. We are running out of time, believe it or not. So any last things that we didn't cover that you would like to tell us about either 300 Chiropractic and Wellness or 300 Fitness?
I'll just say, it's in being in the fitness industry for so many years, like one of the first questions we used to ask people when they came in was, hey, how many times did you pull up into the parking lot and then drive away? Because there's so much reservation with coming in. There's so much insecurity, nervousness, anxiousness
Sure.
with joining that space. And, one of the reasons why we didn't want to pay out commissions was because we want to make sure everybody that works there, their heart is in the right place and they are focused on the individual that's in front of them, not focused on hitting a goal, not focused on if I don't sell a program, I'm not going to be able to pay my rent next month, stuff like that. We want them solely focused on the person in front of them. And so that's one thing, like we're getting, it's just, we hear every day from our members and clients, like, you guys really care, don't you? And I'm going to tell so-and-so because you guys really care. And so the thing I would encourage everybody is, I know it's scary and I know it's intimidating and I know it's that unknown because a lot of us have never done it before. Just walk in the door and let us do the rest. That's, we're there to support you. We're there for you. It's an extremely, God-fearing, loving, caring environment that just wants to look after you and love on you. And all you got to do is walk in the door. And I would almost promise you that you're going to feel the difference as soon as you do from any other place you've been. So.
Yeah. And is that the best way to start a membership, is to walk in the door, or is there an online form that we need to be filling out or looking for? How does that work?
My personal preference is for you to come in and see me. I want to be
Okay.
able to talk to you. Some people like to do it digital. We offer that too. So again, it's about meeting you where you're at.
Do you need to make an appointment for that?
You don't.
Would that be the best way?
I recommend it just to
Okay.
make sure that I'm available, because I could
Sure.
be with somebody else that already walked in or had an appointment. But you can just walk in as well if you don't know when you can make it in. Stop in. Between Seth, we have today while we're here, Jan Barnes has been working for Seth for 5 years. She works part-time for us. And before we run out of time, I want to mention Cassidy Sharp. He's our trainer. He's been working for Seth as a trainer for 10 years at a different place. He believed in what we were doing, and he comes all the way from Seymour,
Wow.
Indiana, to Batesville to train people. He's on the same mission that we're all on. So very blessed to have an amazing team. All of them are invested in your health and wellness.
All right, and go ahead and give me a phone number.
For 300 Chiropractic and Wellness, it's 812-932-3003. For 300 Fitness, it is 812-932-3055.
And a website?
Yep. You can look up like my300fitness.com or my300health.com, and it takes you kind of to the same opening page, and then you can look at all the different services and go to the different companies from there.
Perfect. And can we find you on social media?
Yes. Yep. 300 Fitness and 300 Chiropractic and Wellness both have Facebook pages, and especially the Chiropractic and Wellness, they like to do all those little silly videos that everybody enjoys.
I have been watching those. Yes,
But,
yes. You guys
yeah.
are good sports, let me tell you.
we try.
There are some cute ones out there. One last thing for you, Seth. If you had to give us one exercise that you think is a good, well-rounded, full-body exercise, what is your favorite? Man, I stumped him.
Oh my goodness. Because there's so many. There's like, if you're talking knees, I have one. If you're talking hips, I got one. If you're talking back, I got one, right? One of the ones that I think is extremely beneficial that I feel like people do wrong or incorrectly is a plank.
Okay.
I have a saying that if you're not shaking within 20 seconds of a plank, you're not doing it right. This stuff where, people are holding planks for an hour, 5 minutes, 8 minutes. The way I do it, you set the body up, you're working the glutes, you're working the core, you're working the shoulders, you're working the lats, and you squeeze all those muscles besides your fingers and your toes as hard as you possibly can. And if that doesn't make you shake in 20, 30 seconds, then you're just not doing it right. So,
Okay.
But a lot of, that'll help with your balance, your overall core strength, stuff like that. So if I had to pick one, that was
The plank.
That was a mean question to ask. Because.
And are we coming from a low plank or a high plank?
Kind of depends. Kind of depends. I personally like a low plank. My only
Okay.
thing is the thing I always say about a low plank is don't hold your hands. It's not that hard. You don't have to pray about that one. Get those forearms parallel. When you hold your hands, it really internally rotates the shoulder. And anytime you work out in bad posture, your body wants to hold you in that posture during your whole life. So, internally rotating the shoulders is something that we already have an issue with. And so don't do that. Get those forearms parallel. To me, it helps me drive and try to pull my forearms and my elbows back towards my hips, which will engage the lats. So you can get a real good lat engagement, which is also lacking in most of us because of our posture and what we do for a living and stuff like that. So
I can see a whole nother Lunch and Learn series coming up with proper technique and form for certain. Yeah,
man,
we
let's
could
do
do
it.
a lot. Okay, all right. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. Well, thank you all very much for joining us on Community Connections. We appreciate you. We appreciate you making the trip. Last thing, where are you located?
At 10 Badel Boulevard, Batesville, Indiana. We're right across from like the La Rosas, right behind. It used to be a bank. Now it's a daycare. It's in the old Anytime Fitness building.
Perfect. All right. Again, thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you and appreciate you being a member of the Greensburg-Decatur County Chamber. With that, I'm Dawn Lowe, and we will be back here in a couple of weeks for the next Community Connections. Have a great day.